from the campus of Westfield State University. This is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead you? Who'd have thought they'd lead you? Back here where we need you. We got him on the spot. Welcome back. 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 We always could spot a friend. Welcome back. And I smile when I think how you must have been. And I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I know what a scene you were learning in. Was there something that made you come back again? And what could ever lead you? What could ever lead you? Back here where we need you. Back here where we need you. Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. Welcome back, welcome back. 'Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, we tease him a lot. 'Cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
There I am. Welcome back indeed. It is Monday, July 4th. Happy 4th, 2022. Happy birthday to the greatest country on the greatest planet in the solar system. For some reason, you are listening to They'll Learn Ya with me, your host, Michael Buster McMahon. And this summer, I don't know if I told you this, I'm teaching a course on how to fall down stairs.
Oh, really?
Yep. Step 1. Step 2. Step 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Joining me is my pal and producer, Peter Coles. Say hello, Peter.
Hello, Peter.
Peter has a goal of living forever. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Today on the show, cool stories about great songs. Plus, if we have time, we'll talk about a possible skinwalker sighting at Hampton Ponds. But we probably won't have time for that.
What the?
So sit back, relax, and remember, if you get a new job before you get rid of your old one, people call that you're being responsible. If you do that with your girlfriend, however, people call it cheating.
Well, I see it both ways.
Hey, somebody brought up a good point. They go, you start off every show with that song by John Sebastian, Welcome Back, Kotter, and you've never in the history of the show provided any information about that song. And I said, you know what? That's a valid point. We don't.
True,
we
yeah.
tend to, that's our intro, and then we just kind of shove it aside.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hear something interesting about that song?
Sure.
Okay. So the name of the sitcom was going to be just called Cotter. And John Sebastian had a little problem writing a song called, Cotter. So he came up with the concept of Welcome Back. And the producers liked the title so much, they changed the name of the sitcom to Welcome Back, Cotter. That way it would tie in with the theme song better.
And it actually actually made the show more distinct.
And you know what? Here's the funny thing. As a kid, I mean, didn't we all love that show? Weren't we all in? I was like in second grade and going, oh, when you knew the answer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was the 90s. Nick at Night announced that they were having a Welcome Back Cotter marathon. So I turned on an episode. I'm like, oh, because I was really excited. So I saw an episode and I'm like, oh, that wasn't as good as I remembered. Man, it was a bad episode. 3 episodes into the marathon, I realized I'm like, this show really wasn't that good.
Well, it was for the time.
Yeah, it was for the time, and as a kid, you had lower
expectations.
expectations.
This is a problem with humans. Humans always try to rationalize what they perceive of morality, time, everything.
Well,
to the now,
but,
the
but
then.
I mean, to the point where no, like
I'm watching Knight Rider and it's cheesy.
Yeah, there's some cheesy things. There's the best episodes ever are the one when they found Carr. That was kind of cool. The night automated roving robot.
But still, you look at them now and they're cheesy. But I'm like, you know what?
But,
when I was a kid, this was the hot stuff.
Right. But no, because there's like Casablanca was on the other day. That's still one of the greatest films of all time. There's plenty of movies that I've seen from the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. Honeymooners. I Love Lucy. They're still amazing.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Honeymooners. Honeymooners is still funny.
If you put it in the reality of today, no, they're not.
No, they're still very funny. They're absolutely still very funny. But Welcome Back, Cotter, I don't think is as funny as I remember.
Honeymooners, wife staying home. That's very non-feminist.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about entertainment value. Whereas Welcome Back, Cotter, it wasn't as good as I remembered as a kid. But anyway, we could go on and on, but that's not what we do. We play songs. We could, but that would. What kind of a show would that be? That's not what we do.
Well, we usually do around here.
Well, but I mean,
it's a talk show.
This show here, we play music and we tell you the cool stories behind them. And if I don't know the cool story, I make it up. No, I don't.
Believe you.
I don't make it up. I was wrong. I don't remember what it was. Remember, I was wrong, and the following week I had to retract the story because it turns out I was completely wrong about something. Do you remember that?
Vaguely, yes.
Yeah. So hopefully when you do a repeat show, you don't do that, the one where I made that mistake, because that would be out there again. Anyway, this guy, holy crap.
That probably got lost on Vimeo.
Youngest of 19 children.
God bless his mother.
Holy mackerel. I don't know exactly the breakdown. I don't know, some of them had to be step, I think, but 19 children. So Billy Bland, he was working at a radio station. Or a recording studio, and he heard Titus Turner recording this song, and he's like, you're not understanding the emotion of the song. And the guy's like, well, who are you? He's like, I just work here, but he's like, I don't think you're capturing the emotion of the song. And the guy laughed. He's like, oh, really? Okay. Well, let's hear you do that version. And the tape was running. So the guy goes like, this is the proper emotion of the song. In my opinion, he's like, you can do whatever you want, but this is what I think, sir, I think you're missing the emotion. And so he sang it, and it was recorded, and they actually sent the recording to a studio, and it became a hit. Sometimes you hear some of these stories, and you think, wow, it was a lot easier to become a famous sometimes in the past. Like Eddie Albert, he was, at Green Acres.
Yep.
One of his first jobs, of course, radio was a new medium, and he just walked in a radio station and said, "Hey, I'd like to be a radio star." And I'm like, "All right," and they put him on the air, and boom, then he became, a TV actor and movie actor, and I hear stories like that. I'm like, "Wow!" All right, well, here's Billy Bland, and pretty much the most famous version of the song, perhaps because he was able to capture the proper emotion of the song. And actually, you know why I'm playing this? I should tell you why I'm playing this. My wife's dance studio, they had their recital last week.
Yeah, how'd it go?
Oh, it went great. It was absolutely great. Thank you very much for your help with the recordings of those little tidbits that I did. Thank you very much. That came out okay.
Cool.
Came out okay. Came out great. And
It did the job.
It did the job. It delivered what it promised.
Right.
Basically.
Did the job.
So the show was great. So I always love seeing the kids up there, especially my daughter. My daughter was in like 12 numbers. So if you paid to see Serenity McMahon dance, you got your money's worth because she was in a lot of numbers and she was great. So proud of her. Here's Let the Little Girl Dance, 89.5 WSKB.
Little wallflower on the shelf, standing by herself. Never had the nerve to take a chance, so let the little girl dance.
Let the little girl dance. Let the little girl dance. She never danced before. So let her on the floor. Let the little girl dance. Let the little girl dance. She wants to give it a try. So let the little girl by. She's been a little wallflower on the shelf, standing by herself. Now she got the nerve to take the chance. So let the little girl dance. Let the little girl through. She wants to pass by you, but can't you see? She wants to dance with me.
Dance with me.
She's been a little wallflower on the shelf, standing by herself. Now she got the nerve to take the chance. So let the little girl dance, let the little girl through. She wants to pass by you, but can't you see? She wants to dance with me.
Little wallflower on the shelf, standing by herself. Never had the nerve to take a chance.
Let the little girl dance.
Underwriting for WSKB's community radio programming is brought to you in part by R. Levesque Associates. They are offering landscape architecture, civil engineering, environmental permitting, and land surveying. RLA is a second-generation company devoted to excellence in the planning and design of outdoor spaces. On the web at rlaland.com or at 40 School Street in Westfield.
Hi, it's Bob Plass, and I have Wow, It's Tuesday, every Tuesday, 6 to 8. Wow, it's Tuesday.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
I did it!
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
I wake up every morning, stumble out of bed, stretching and yawning, another day ahead. Seems to last forever, and time goes slowly by.
Around the world, it's known as 9 to 5. Unfortunately, Dolly Parton's hit was happening at the time.
Huge.
So in this country, the song is known as Morning Train. Either one works.
Yeah.
Now, Sheena Easton, I'm surprised she didn't really do any more like acting, because she was able to play a lot of different roles in these songs. She was a shy 20-year-old girl, as you know, she became a superstar, and she started playing these roles in these songs. Here, you know, the stay-at-home a woman waiting for her man to come home, the dance diva in Strut, the sex kitten in Sugar Walls, and a Bond singer, and For Your Eyes Only.
Sure.
So she was able to slide into a lot of these roles. I'm really surprised she really didn't do.
Maybe that was her escape. Didn't she appear in Miami Vice?
Yeah, I think that was a thing in the 80s, right? Everybody appeared in Miami Vice.
She was in like a whole episode. She was like a main character in an episode.
Yeah, but I mean, you had like a couple people doing that. Didn't like Phil Collins and Glenn Fry, weren't they like episode stars? I think?
Yeah, but they weren't. I think she was really like featured.
Yeah,
as I recall.
So I mean, because you know what, she was attractive and she was able to slide in these roles. I wonder what she's up to now. Hey, when I was in Atlantic City, Melissa Manchester, I found out is coming like next month. I'm like, oh wow, that'd be
Go
cool.
back?
Probably not. Just like if I was there, I think I would try to. I don't know if I'm going to go back just for Melissa Manchester. I like Melissa Manchester, but I don't know.
Well,
if
it'd be a good show, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, it would be. It's also on a Friday night, so it's kind of expensive to stay in these places.
So you go to the show and then you stay outside of Atlantic City.
Or, you know, you stay over Thursday night, see the show, and then drive home after the show.
That's a late night, though.
Yeah, but and nocturnal. So, I mean, that's not... And plus, you can make so much better traffic going through New York at, like, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
This is true.
So, the wife and daughter, they're going to be driving to Florida in a couple weeks.
Yeah, me too.
That's crazy.
Why didn't they take the auto train? They could save 1,000 miles on their trip.
I have no idea.
Karen, call me. I'll tell you about it.
Okay. We'll see if Karen's up. I got her car today because her car was blocking all the other cars.
Because she could, instead of driving all the way, she could put the car on the train overnight. It's a 19-hour trip. Get a little roomette for her and Serenity, and save all that driving. It's not so much about the money because it's $200 to move the car that distance.
That's not too bad.
And then if they had coach seats, you can get them as cheap as like $110 each.
Well, maybe that's something they would consider.
It's saving all the driving is the big thing for me.
Right. My rule about driving is Washington, D.C. That's as far as
that's what I'm saying. You should only have to drive to Virginia.
Washington, D.C. is my limit. If I have to go to past Washington, D.C., I'm flying.
This is about 20 miles south of D.C.
So there you go.
That's in your limit,
yeah. So I got the wife's car because her car was blocking all the other cars, and I was going to move her car. And as I was moving it, I'm just like, why not use her gas instead of mine? So I just stayed with her because she's not going to work today. So that's why I got Bianca. I'm having a little problem at home between my two cars.
Why?
Well, there is a jealousy going on, and I'm surprised which direction it is. I always thought that the Trans Am would be a little upset over the Lacrosse Super because, I always have a second car with the Trans Am, and now this car is just as fast as she is, so I thought she would resent that. No, it's the Lacrosse Super that doesn't like the GTA Trans Am.
Is acting up, you mean?
Yeah. Because one day I took the Trans Am down to work at the inn, the restaurant where we're restoring in Connecticut, and I spent the whole day with the Trans Am. I came back to move the little Sabre back in the Lacrosse Super back into the driveway, and she wouldn't start. She was upset that I think she can't understand why I need the Trans Am if she's just as fast. And I think basically what it is it's kind of like a wife and a mistress. The Trans Am being the mistress. The mistress doesn't hate the wife.
You're putting a little bit too much humanity into the car.
But the wife hates the mistress. She doesn't understand why I need her. So that's, I think, what's going on there. So I don't have a lot of problems in life, Peter, as you know, but the ones I have are truly unique. So this is going to be an ongoing thing, I think. So anyway, so this song, we think of Thriller as an absolute, monster album, right? I mean, just think of all the songs that came off of Thriller. It could have had this one too. Now, so the keyboard player for Rufus wrote this song, and he loved it. And he kind of gave the band a demo of it, and nobody in the band liked it. And he was really upset. He's like, "What do you mean? Nobody? Not one of you likes this song?" And so he played it for Quincy Jones, and Quincy Jones loved it. And he goes, "We're putting together a Michael Jackson album. I want this song for the album." And he's like, "Oh, wow." So he told the band, he's like, "All right, if you guys don't want it, I'm going to sell it to Quincy Jones, and Michael Jackson's going to do it." So the band was like, "All right, we'll do it." So this song came really, really close to being on Michael Jackson's album. And it turned out to be the last song by the band Rufus with Chaka Khan. She left shortly after that. But yeah, it was a hit for them, and it's a pretty cool tune. Here's Ain't Nobody, 89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Saw Barbara Ann, so I thought I'd take a chance with Barbara Ann. Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann. You got me rocking and reading Barbara Ann. Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann, Barbara Ann.
All right, so that song was just sort of recorded as a silly little filler on the record company, and when the Beach Boys presented the album to Capitol Records, and Capitol said, all right, well, these are potential singles here, and when the record company said, Barbara Ann, the Beach Boys were like, no. Look, we want to be known as a serious music group, and that's just sort of a simple, silly little song. No, don't release that one. And they're like, all right, we won't release it. Beach Boys left the room, and they're like, psst, hey, we're going to release it. And the band was a little upset that it did get released. But I'm sure they
Until
enjoyed...
it became a hit.
I'm sure they enjoyed the checks once the song became the monster hit that it was. That's what's always tough, I mean, you get your art, and then you get your wallet. That's tough. Now, this song was first released. There was no enthusiasm for it. And the BBC started playing it after pirate radio stations started to become a thing, and to compete with those pirate radio stations before they were kind of clamped down a bit. They had to go through some recent releases that maybe that the pirate radio stations had missed. So the BBC started playing this song and other songs a lot, and it kind of accidentally became a hit. It's still a cool tune, though. Here's the Foundations, Baby Now That I Found You.
Baby, now that I found you, I can let
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Join me, Tina Gorman, each week from 6 to 8 a.m. for Wake Up Wednesday, when my guests and I discuss health, wellness, and lifestyle reimagined.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
Love on the rocks ain't no surprise. Just pour me a drink and I'll tell you some lies. Got nothing to lose, just sing the blues all the time. Gave you my soul. You left me alone here with nothing to hold. Yesterday's gone. Now all I want is a smile. First they say they want you. What you need, you can say what you want, not much you can do when the feeling is gone. Maybe blue skies above, but it's cool when your love's on the rocks. They say they want you, how they really need you. Suddenly you find you're out there, walking in a storm. And when they know they have you, then they really have you. Nothing you can do or say, you got to leave, just get away. We all know the song. Love on the rocks, it ain't no big surprise. Just pour me a drink and I'll tell you my lies. Yesterday's gone, and now all I want is a smile.
Ah, that was very nice. Now bug off. Remember that scene from the jazz singer?
No.
Okay, so he writes the song, and there's a rock and roll, and he's singing, and he's like, no. He's like, it is meant to be a ballad. So in the scene in the movie, he plays it just like that, and the rock and roll star's like, yeah, that was very nice. Now bug off. And then he went back and then recorded it the way he wanted to record it. So it was written for the movie The Jazz Singer, which he starred in, which was not that great of a film, but a fantastic soundtrack. And they didn't know what to do with it. He wrote it with somebody called Scotch on the Rocks, and it was kind of like a reggae song. And it didn't really kind of fit. And Neil Diamond's thinking like, well, you know what? Maybe this isn't for this project. I'll just shelve it and use it for a future album or something. And then somebody made the suggestion of changing it from, hey, it doesn't have to be a song about alcohol. Make the song about, love. And, you mentioning love in the song, focus the love, not necessarily the alcoholism. And he's like, Love on the Rocks. And he's like, that could work. And it could work as a ballad. And, of course, it was a huge hit. So, very, very nice. Did you ever see the movie?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's mediocre. But the soundtrack, I mean, what a great soundtrack you got out of that. And here's a song that just baffles me. The heck is that? Was that you?
That's what I heard a lot yesterday.
Oh, okay. That's just randomly going off in the building. Are we boarding? Do we have to put our seatbelts on?
Yes.
Put our seatbelts on.
Let's get away.
We get some turbulence.
Want to get away?
Yes. So we, the family and I, we saw the movie, the Minions movie.
I did too.
This weekend. Very, very enjoyable.
I saw it the day before it came out.
If you don't like the Minions and the voice grates on you, this is going to get old pretty quick.
I enjoy it because you have to suspend reality for a period of time.
Yes.
And because when they said it, all the Minions movies have been set in different decades.
Yep.
And the soundtracks.
Yep. It was a great soundtrack, and that's why I'm playing this song. This was one of the code words for young Gru to get into area to meet some potential villains. And, well, they were villains. They were going to interview him. So this was the code word. But this Linda Ronstadt song, because it's hidden in a record company.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what amazes me about this song, somebody wrote the song, and they said, you know what? Our research says that most of the record buyers right now are women. There's it's like a 60-40 split right now. 60% of women are 60% of people buying records are women. So I don't think that the time is right to release another anti-woman song when they wrote this. And so they're like, okay. So it took like 3 years before somebody said, hey, why don't we have a woman singing about a guy? Why did that take 3 years to come up with that idea?
Because at the time it was a male-dominated society.
But still, I mean, this was a great idea, and it took that long to come up with it. So Dee Dee Warwick had a hit with it, and somebody else had a hit with it, and Linda Ronstadt did a version in the 70s, and I think Van Halen did a cool version of it too. But the Linda Ronstadt version has always been my favorite. And here's You're No Good, 89.5 WSKB.
Community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
right here on WSKB 89.5
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
How long will I separate my side? I don't believe it's been slitting my throat, it's all I am. I heard your voice through a photograph. I thought that I've been brought up the past. Once you know you can never go back, I gotta take it on the other side. Centuries are what it meant to me. A cemetery where I marry the sea. The stranger things that never change my mind. I gotta take it on the other side. Take it on the other side. Take it on. Take it on. How long will I slide? Separate my side.
finally started and she's in my bed. A candidate for the soulmate blend. Pulls the trigger and I pull the thread. I gotta take it on the other side. Take it on the other side. Take it on. Take it on. How long will I slide? Separate my side. I don't believe it's fair. Slit my throat, it's all I ever. Turn me on, take me for a hard ride. Fuck me out, leave me on the other side. I yell and tell her that it's not my friend. I tear her down, and then it's home again. How long will I slide? Separate my side. I don't believe it's fair. Slit my throat is all I ever had. I don't believe it's fair. Slit my throat is all I ever.
We were on our way to Atlantic City, and that song came on the radio. I'm like, oh my God, I haven't heard that song in a while. I love this song. And the wife was surprised I liked that song. I'm like, wow, it's a great little catchy little tune there. It's the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You don't hear that song much anymore, unfortunately. Now, it's a great catchy little song, but there's sort of a bad message behind it, so kids don't listen to the message behind it. Basically, the lead singer was, he would keep going to drug rehab, and he'd come out of it. He's like, I don't think drugs are such a bad thing. They make me happy, and, that's the slide. How far is he willing to go down the slide?
Sure, yeah.
Cutting his throat, basically being, this thing that, he knows is bad for him, but he doesn't think it's that bad because he goes, how can something that makes me this happy be that bad? It's not a good message, folks, but
Yeah.
it turns out to be a catchy little tune. Whew, I'm a little winded. I'm getting old.
Yep.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. So,
We're all getting old.
but yeah, getting old stinks, but as I say, it beats the alternative.
I guess.
So this guy, speaking of the opposite of being old, this guy was 17 years old when he wrote and recorded this song. It's a catchy little pop tune that it focused on something relatable, asking a girl to dance and everything. He was recording with 3 other teenagers at the time, and a record company said, hey, we're interested in you. He's like, well, what about my friends? They're like, listen, this is the business. Do you want the opportunity or not? He's like, yeah, I guess. So he recorded, and it was a big hit in the summer of 1958. Here's Bobby Freeman, Do You Want to Dance? 89.5 WSKB.
Well, do you wanna dance and hold my hand? Tell me I'm your lover man, oh baby. Do you wanna dance? Well, do you wanna dance and make romance? Squeeze me all through the night, oh baby. Do you wanna
Underwriting support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Greater Westfield Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business for the Greater Westfield communities. Informing, educating, and advocating, the Chamber provides opportunities for members to make meaningful connections on local, regional, and state levels. For more information on the Chamber's many events, workshops, and programs, as well as the benefits of membership, visit westfieldbiz.org. The Chamber focuses on the most important economy, yours.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, a family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Hi, this is Harry Rock, host of Rock on Westfield every fourth Wednesday at 8 a.m. Tune in for my view of this place I call home.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
That might be my favorite Rolling Stones song. Is that cliches to say that? I think that's one of the.
I like that song.
That's one of the greatest. I misnomered that as a '70s song. It actually came out in 1969. So we get stuff going. Now, one of my favorite parts of that song, and you got to listen very carefully. I should have told you to look out for this. Maybe play the song in the first set, the second set. When Mary Clayton, the girl doing the vocal parts here, is belting out as best as she can, just amazing, great writer. You can hear Mick Jagger, the left hand. He knew she was good, but she went to another level at the middle of that song. So that's what this. Now, a lot of people absolutely love this song, and some people enjoyed doing the cover versions. I mean, the heck, you had to have a pretty good female with you to pull it off. But Grand Funk Railroad in 1972, December 19th, we were playing Madison Square Garden, and their ex-manager, Terry Knight, showed up with a court order allowing him to seize $1 million in money or assets owed to him by Grand Funk. So he was nice enough to wait for the concert to be over, and Grand Funk's last song was a cover of "Gimme Shelter." And
it's like 6 minutes long. I think I have it.
As soon as they said goodbye and everything, all their equipment was impounded by deputy sheriffs. So that song was known as the last song that Grand Funk did on that tour until they could straighten everything out and get their equipment back.
Oops.
Yeah, that got kind of ugly. But at least they were cool. They didn't stop the concert. They were why?
Yeah, sure.
Why punish the people who came to the show?
Why create a riot?
Yeah. So that would have been funny though had they came out and just during the concert.
That would have created a riot though.
Taking the equipment away.
That's called a good judgment call by the police department.
I wonder if that might have been the police. I'm sure the ex-manager was like, "Take it," and the cops were like, "You know what? Look, you can wait half an hour here.
I don't want to deal with the riot."
Yeah, you can wait till the show's over here, pal. You just sit there.
We'll leave, and you can deal with the riot.
So now, Eric Clapton, his album titles usually had some kind of hidden meaning, and we didn't always know what the meaning was. But this album was called "Another Ticket." And he did that out of a friend who was always asking for another ticket to every time his concert came to this town. He's like, "Oh, can I get a ticket to go see?" "Yeah, sure, here you go." And then he was constantly asking for, "Oh, another ticket." So Eric Clapton named his next album "Another Ticket." So I don't know if that's that's got to be somewhat of a badge of honor, right? I mean, it's kind of making fun of you, but you can say, "Hey, I inspired the title."
I wouldn't consider it a badge of honor, but the guy might.
I would be slightly embarrassed, but I think I would be overcome by the fact that, it's something to be proud of. There's an album kind of named after him.
Yeah, but not for the reason that it's good.
Well, it's kind of like me when, Foxwoods and Mohegan banned me for their casino. I'm upset by that. But I look at it like there are $2 billion companies afraid of me.
You still go there.
That's kind of, I sneak in once in a while. I figure they got, the $1 billion companies, they got more important things to do than to worry if Michael McMahon's in their casino. But so that's kind of something to be proud of, isn't it?
See, nefarious fame is not what I'm looking for. So I wouldn't like it, but okay, to each his own.
There's two separate $1 billion companies afraid of me.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
And nefarious fame.
All right, but I still, I'm going to hang my hat on. It's kind of cool that they're afraid of me. Anyway, here's from that album, Another Ticket. Here's Eric Clapton, and I Can't Stand It. 89.5 WSKB.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB. Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM WSKB Westfield.
There's a moon out tonight. Let's go strolling. There's a girl in my heart. Whose heart I've stolen. There's a moon out tonight. Let's go strolling through the park. There's a glow in my heart I never felt before. There's a girl at my side that I adore. There's a glow in my heart I never felt before. Oh, darling, where have you been? I've been longing for you all my life. Whoa, whoa, baby, I never felt this way before. I guess it's because there's a moon out tonight. Oh, there's a glow in my heart I never felt before. There's a girl at my side that I adore. There's a glow in my heart. I guess it's because there's a moon out tonight. Moon out tonight. Moon out tonight. There's a moon out tonight.
The Capris. Now, the funny, I guess we got a message from somebody saying that the background behind us has a live microphone.
Yes.
So it was bleeding into the broadcast.
I didn't know that.
So, yeah, big thank you to Joyce for contacting us and letting us know that that was happening. So we apologize and good job, Joyce.
Never apologize for a problem. It was a problem. We fixed it.
Yeah. Well,
throw me under the bus, why don't you?
No, it's not your fault. What do I tell you all the time, Peter?
It's my fault.
No, I say it. I know it's not your fault. I'm just blaming you. That's so. Anyway, that's the Capris. And when they recorded that song, they had such high hopes. They were hoping to become hits. Nothing they ever did became a hit. And they're like, this is going to be our hit. So they released it, and it wasn't a hit. And they had a good talk to themselves. Like, look, that's the best we're ever going to do. Okay, let's face it. We can't top that. And if that's not going to be a hit, what's the point of us doing this? I'm like, well, it's still fun. We're making a little bit of a living here, playing, and they're like, no, you know what? It's time to break up. So the band breaks up. So about a year later, a disc jockey for a big city finds the record, and he's like, oh, it's kind of cool, and he played it on his show, prime time, and they got a ton of phone calls saying, hey, what is that? And he said, oh, it's the Capris. So they put it in the rotation at the station. And it spread, and boom, 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 it became a hit. So the Capris quickly got back together when they realized that, hey, our best that we ever did is pretty good. So good for them. Don't think they had much else, though.
Yeah.
Now, I was at a casino. We went to Atlantic City, And we did pretty good. Atlantic City was good to us. And I'm at the Ocean Casino. We stayed at the resorts because resorts gave us free rooms and stuff. Ocean used to give us free rooms, and Ocean hadn't given us anything free in a while, so we're staying at resorts. But I made my mission. I said, you know what? I'm going to go over to Ocean, play there a little bit, remind them who I am, remind them that I exist, slap them around a little bit, too, in the process. And I'm sitting at the table, and this song comes over the speakers, and I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, this is awesome. I didn't expect to hear this song in the casino. I was there for a little while, so the regular dealer and we were talking. I said, hey, have you ever done karaoke? And he goes, hey, yeah, I used to. I'm like, let me give you some advice. Just when you're looking through the book and everything and you see a song that you remember, it doesn't mean you can do it. And because that's what I did. I'm looking through the book. I saw this song. I'm like, oh, my God. I'm like, I love this song. So I put it in. And you can't do this song karaoke. Don't try. Unless you're like, there's like 3 people in the audience and you want to try to have some fun. But Russ Ballard wrote this. He was the lead singer. Remember the band Argent? Hold your head high. Remember that one?
Yep.
Okay. So now Russ Ballard, when he went solo, he was a pretty good writer. So like he was writing songs and he was not having any success whatsoever as a solo artist. But all those songs that he was doing were covered by other artists, and that's where he made his money. Songs like New York Groove, back in New York. Yep. I Know Something's Going On. Remember that by 80s there?
Yep.
By the girl from ABBA.
Mm-hmm.
God Gave Rock and Roll to You by Kiss.
Don't know that one.
It was at the end of one of the Bill and Ted's movies. It was by Kiss. You Can Do Magic by America. So all those songs he wrote. And he wrote this one too. It wasn't the giant hit that those others were, but it's probably my favorite thing that he's written. Here's Rainbow's cover of Since You've Been Gone. Don't try this karaoke. 89.5 WSKB.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donuts shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield. Underwriting for Community Radio on WSKB is brought to you in part by Rockies. Over 30 convenient locations throughout Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Connecticut, and Florida. One of the nation's largest ACE dealers. Expertise and great product selection in paint, hardware, lawn and garden. That's Rockies. Rock solid service since 1926. On the web at rockies.com.
I'm Mark Auerbach. Join me every Friday at 8 a.m. for Arts Beat, where you'll meet interesting actors, directors, designers, and musicians here in Western New England.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Gypsy, sitting looking pretty.
Def Leppard. No, when the band started out, they actually spelled Def Leppard correctly, the way it's supposed to be corrected. And then they had a kind of a cool idea, like, hey, you know what? Why don't we can do like a little tribute to Led Zeppelin and spell Def D-E-F, kind of like the way Led Zeppelin spelled lead, L-E-D.
Okay.
And because we got two P's in the middle of our name, and they got two P's in the middle of their name. It'd be kind of cool. They'll kind of look like Led Zeppelin. They don't sound like Led Zeppelin, but. So in 2009, Joe Elliott did something kind of interesting. He's the lead singer of Def Leppard. He started a side project that was basically a Mott the Hoople, Ian Hunter cover band. He called it the Down and Outs, I think. And he said, you know what? It just kind of rejuvenated him because it freed him from all these monster hits that he had. He goes, I felt young again. I was going out there just doing some songs that I liked, and I brought these Ian Hunter songs to a whole new audience. When you think about, on the surface, if you're like, I'm going to start a Mott the Hoople cover band, I mean, you want to join? And my first thought would be like, yeah, I only have to learn that one song, right? That's all they got. Because you only think of all the young dudes, but they actually had, obviously other stuff too. So that's a cool little side project to do.
Yeah.
If you were going to do a cover band, who would you want to do? Let's say you had musical talent.
Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder. Well, you look like him, so that
love Stevie Wonder.
That's cool. That would be interesting. You doing Stevie Wonder, because sometimes is there pressure to look like the band too? I mean, I think you need to match up the instruments. Like if you're doing a Cars band, you should have 5 people.
Stevie Wonder just had such a big sound.
Yeah.
Or the next act, I wouldn't mind doing that one either. I don't think I could sing like that, but
the who?
No, isn't Chicago up next?
Oh, Chicago. Oh, the next one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have to. Did you want to do old school Chicago and get the horns and everything, or
I'm a sucker for a good horn section.
Yeah, me too. I like. I think the wife decided that if she ever had entrance music when she walked in, it was going to be the opening to "Vehicle" by the Ides of March. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good song. Yeah.
Yep. I'm here. I mean, what better way to say I'm here? Dun 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 dun. That'd be kind of cool. So the video to this was.
Let's see. Let's take it without the vocals. Let's see.
I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. That'd be great entrance music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in for that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good entrance music. So this video by Chicago was kind of a homage to Casablanca. Casablanca was on yesterday. If you haven't seen it, you really shouldn't. Wait, you haven't seen it, have you?
I might have seen parts of it.
Okay, you got to see it. It's there's a reason why people consider it one of the greatest films of all time. Because of course now it's been built up in your head, and you're gonna expect something amazing, and you're gonna go, eh. But because that's what happened to me. I didn't see E.T. when I was a kid. I saw it finally in college. I'm like, all right, because I didn't always get to go to the movie theater. I lived in Hamden, so if you were going to the movie theater as a kid,
I've seen more movies in the last 2 weeks than I've seen in the last 5 years.
Wow, what have you seen in 2 weeks?
I saw Top Gun Maverick
by
myself.
Uh-huh.
And I saw Minions by myself.
Okay. Oh, okay, so you went to 2. Okay.
That's more than I've seen in like 5 years.
All right, so like you went to like 6 or something.
No, I don't go. It's a lot of time to invest.
I being a movie snob, I like the movie experience, but I only go.
Did you see Maverick?
Not yet. No, it's something that it just hasn't matched up for us.
I want to see that at a drive-in theater.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The drive-in's a great experience.
Yeah.
So anyway, the director said this was his idea for the video, and he found the band because he was used. The director was like, I don't want to do music videos. Bands they always fight you on everything. And he found the band Chicago very, very accommodating. They were willing to do, what he asked, and they try to make the video as close to the movie Casablanca as possible. So here's Along Comes a Woman by Chicago, 89.5 WSKB.
Someone
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardie siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com, they are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
Listen to me, Michael Buster McMahon, Mondays 8 to 10 a.m. to learn the stories behind your favorite songs. Or don't. I'm not the boss of you.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
We started dancing and love put us into a groove. As soon as we started to move, the music played while our bodies displayed through the dance. Then love picked us out for romance. I thought it was clear the plan was we would share this feeling just between ourselves. But when the music changed, the plan was rearranged. He went to dance with someone else. We started dancing and love put us into a groove. But now he's with somebody new. What does love want me to do? Love said, let the music play. You won't get away. Just keep the groove and then he'll come back to you again. Let the music play. You won't get away. This groovy candy coffee won't leave you anymore. He tried pretending our dance is just a dance, but I see he's dancing his way back to me. Guess he discovered we are truly lovers, magic from the very start. 'Cause love just can't be proven, and it felt me moving, even though we danced apart. So we started dancing and love put us into the groove. As soon as we started to move, as soon as we started to move, love said, let the music play. You won't get away. Just keep the groove and then he'll come back to you again. Let the music play. You won't get away. This groovy candy coffee won't leave you anymore. He tried pretending a dance is just a dance, but I see he's dancing his way back to me. He's dancing his way back to me. Love said, let the music play. Let the music play. Just keep the groove and then he'll come back to you again. Let the music play. Let the music play.
You know, that song does not get enough credit for what it did. Okay, so think about the 80s. Okay, right in the early 80s, they had all that disco backlash. No, disco's bad. No, disco. And dance music was pretty much in a state of flux. And here comes Shannon now with this song. It's got a Latin American rhythm and the electric beats and a heavy syncopated drum. And it was really one of the first new dance songs to hit the top 40 to cross over and make sort of that sound cool again. I don't think it gets enough credit for what it did. That's Shannon. Let the music play.
I saw that live at Big E a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's her middle name. I forgot what her first and last name is, but Shannon is her middle name, and she just went with that.
Yeah.
What's your middle name?
Anthony.
Anthony. I don't know if I know. I don't know if I ever knew that.
Yeah.
People are shocked to find out that my middle name.
My radio name was going to be Peter Anthony, but unfortunately at that time, working at the station that you used to work out, there was Rob Anthony. So Bill Hess, my program director, said I had to go and just Pete Coles would be fine.
And that's not his real name either.
I know.
Yeah.
I know he was. His mom and my mom worked at Wall Street Journal together.
Hey, how about
or
that?
Is his mom or his grandmom?
Don't know.
I think it was his mom. Yeah.
People are shocked to find out that my middle name is not Buster.
No, what is it?
Michael, it's John. It's a very, very simple John. There's just a little tradition.
MJM.
Yep.
Wouldn't it have been funny if it was like George?
Yeah, so I could be MGM.
Yeah.
I could walk in the casino like I own the place. Well, I already do that. I walk in like I own the place. In fact, I
walk in and look for the vacuum cleaner to hoover out my wallet.
I made a plea offer to the MGM the other day, my regular pit boss. I'm like, look, I'm going to win. Sometimes it's going to take me some time. I'm going to dig out. But I tell you what, why don't you just give me $30 right now and I'll go. I'll walk away right now.
Did they laugh at you?
He said, he goes, you know what? He goes, probably in the long run, it probably would be smart for us. But he goes, I don't have the authority to make that deal. So I'm like, all right. I said, this is going to cost you a little bit more. So, yeah, I hit him for like 60. But I thought that would be an interesting offer to make the casino as I walked in. And I got a little cocky when we went down to Atlantic City, too. I walked in the casino. I said, the wolf has come down from the north. Yeah. And your fat little town is safe no longer.
Did you get your butt handed to you?
No. Although I will tell you, each session was not easy. Every time I sat down, I did seem to get myself in a $150 hole.
Called karma. You tempted fate.
I don't believe that had any effect on the cards by me saying that. I won, and it just took me a while. I had to dig out lots of holes, more holes than I anticipated. I said to myself, I'm like, look, you're probably going to have 10 sessions down here, and 3 of them will be difficult. No, 8 of them were difficult. But
you tempted fate. Mm-hmm. You give your cars personalities, and you say that they have emotions, but yet you tempt fate and other. I don't understand you. If you think that every inanimate object has a soul, as it were, why do you tempt fate?
Wait, you just said you don't understand me? Peter.
I do understand you.
All right. I was going to say, who does?
But
who has ever in my life understood
you give
me?
your cars a soul, and then you tempt fate for the entire city.
There were situations where, like, the first time I ever owned 2 cars. Okay, I was a teenager, and I had my first car, Pristina, and she was a Monarch, and she started acting really, really bad. And my father was an auto wholesaler, and this other car came through. I liked it very much, and I named her Sabrina. And when I got Sabrina, too, and I said, well, now I'm going to have to maybe sell Pristina. Pristina was on her best behavior. She always started she had become a little bit of a drug addict because she wouldn't start unless you sprayed ether, like a little bit of ether in her, back those old-fashioned
carburetors.
Yeah, you take the air filter cover off, spray a little ether in there, and the car would start. So it got to the point where she became addicted to that, and she wouldn't start. So I'm like, you know what? I got to get rid of you. I'm going to just keep Sabrina over here. And then once Sabrina was here, she was on her absolute best behavior. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm going to sell Sabrina. I made a small little profit, and I like Pristina is going to be good. And as soon as I got sold Sabrina, Pristina started doing her shenanigans again. She was She's like, oh my gosh, there's another threat, another woman. She's being a threat. I'm going to be in my best behavior. And as soon as I got rid of the other woman, the car went right back to her old ways. So, no, don't tell me these cars don't have personalities. They know darn well what they're doing.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you equate that to a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you equating it to a city? And you basically slap that city upside the head
because the entire
city
did not hear me make that quote.
Apparently, it did.
No, I won. It just wasn't easy. They made me earn it. All right, so you like teases, right? When we do teases?
Sure.
The second song in here is my advice to all the recent grads. Okay, so that'll come up. All right, so now we always play you a song from a Massachusetts artist, and this song waited around for 3 years because the band couldn't make it work. They thought that there was something there, but every time they brought it out and they worked on it, they're like, that's horrible. That's just absolutely horrible. And so eventually they said, you know what, let's just deconstruct the entire thing and rebuild it from the ground up. And it worked, although later, after it was a hit, Rick Ocasek said, I'm kind of embarrassed. It's some of the worst lyrics I've ever written in my life. Do the move with the quirky jerk. Make the night cat stop and stare. He goes, that's terrible. I don't think so. I think those are kind of cool. It works for the song. Here's the Cars and Shake It Up. 89.5 WSKB.
Dance all night, play all day. Don't let nothing get in the way. Dance all night, keep the beat. Don't you worry about doing that beat. Shake it up, shake it up, shake it up, shake it up. Dance all night, get real loose. You don't need no bad excuse. Dance all night with anyone. Don't let nobody pick your phone. Shake it up, shake it up, yeah. Shake it up, shake it up. Dance all night, dance all night, go all night. Dance all night, whirl your hair. Make the night cat stop and stare. Dance all night, go to work. Do the move with the quirky jerk. Shake it up, shake it up, yeah. Shake it up, shake it up. Dance all night, get so light. Dance all night, get real hot. Shake it up, all you got. Shake it up, make a scene. Let 'em know what you really mean. Dance all night, keep the beat. Don't you worry about doing that beat. Shake it up, 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 shake it up.
Underwriting for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield, serving the youth of the Whip City and surrounding communities since 1969. For more information on the Great Futures Club for ages 3 to 5, happening weekdays, and the Club Teen Center for ages 11 and older, weekdays from 6:30 till 8 p.m., go online at bcgwestfield.org or visit the club at 28 West Silver Street. The Boys and Girls Club of Greater Westfield. Great futures start here.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
get a job. You raise me money to buy the time. My baby crying for a job. 'Cause every day she goes the one and ran my way. I never felt the same. Get a job. Well, when I get the paper, I read it through and through, and my girl never fails to say, if there is any work for me. I then go back to the house, there's that woman's mouth, preaching and crying, tell me that I'm lying about a job that I never could find. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, well, when I get the paper, I read it through and through, and my girl never fails to say, if there is any work for me. I then go back to the house, I hear the woman's mouth, preaching and crying, tell me that I'm lying about a job that I never could find. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, Lord, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, Lord, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, Lord, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, Lord, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la,
One of the band members named Richard Lewis, not the comedian Richard Lewis, a different Richard Lewis. He got out of the Army, and he comes home, and he's just, oh, man, it's so good to be out of the Army. And he's just laying on the couch, and his mother's like, so what are your plans? And he's like, this is pretty much it. And she's like, oh, no, you go get a job. And what do we say? Inspiration is all over. So he and his buddies kind of put this song together, Get a Job. It became a hit. That's the Silhouettes. Pay attention. There's inspiration all around you. Now, supposedly, this is Freddie Mercury's favorite song that he ever wrote. According to Brian May, the gospel sound was inspired by the music of Aretha Franklin. And you can kind of hear that in there. That's a pretty good one. Here's
I would
somebody,
agree with that.
Here's Somebody to Love, 89.5 WSKB.
Each morning I get out my diary, can barely stand on my feet. Take a look in the mirror and cry. Lord, what you did to me is, I have spent all my years in believing you, but I just can't get no relief. Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love? I work hard every day of my life. I work till I ache my bones. At the end of the day, I take home my holiday. Oh, tired out, my knees now straight away, till the tears run down from my eyes. Oh, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me somebody to love? He works hard every day, to love, find me somebody 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 to love, somebody, 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 find me somebody to love. Anybody find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Find me somebody to love. Somebody, 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 somebody to love. Find me, find me, find me, find me, find me to love. Somebody to love. Somebody to love. Find me somebody, find me somebody to love. Anybody, anywhere, anybody, find me somebody to love.
Queen. And in September, we're going to be playing the brand new Queen song. Have you heard this?
No.
Brian May and Roger Taylor found some demos from their 13th album called, what album was it? It was The Miracle. And there's a song called Face It Alone. And Freddie Mercury had written it. And basically, they always kind of knew it was there, but they're like, well, there's not enough, really. But today's technology, the engineers were like, we can save this song. So they had these bits and pieces, and they kind of glued it together. They came up with some, the rest of the band came up with some things to smooth it out. They said that it's absolutely beautiful. It's very touching, and we're going to get to hear it in September. A new song from Queen. That's going to be awesome.
Cool.
Face It Alone. We'll play it in September when it comes out. That's the show. Did you learn something today, Peter?
Yes.
Good. I hope everybody learned something. We'll be back next week. I am Michael Buster McMahon. Drink your milk, look both ways before crossing the street, and never, ever give up your dreams. That's my pal and producer, Peter Cole. Say goodbye, Peter.
Goodbye, Peter.
We always like to end the show with something kind of fun. And,
I have a factoid for you on this.
Okay, beautiful.
So the Rise of Gru is having a massive opening weekend.
Yep.
108.5 million through Sunday, and is projected to make 127.9 million by the end of the 4-day holiday weekend. That would set a new record for the biggest 4th of July opening of all time, beating Transformers Dark of the Moon, 115 million in 2011.
Well, that's very strange, Peter, because Disney said the reason why Lightyear failed is because families aren't going to theaters anymore.
Go woke, go broke.
Anyway, so here's a song from, as we said, the song was featured in the 70s, so the soundtrack is absolutely great. Here's the Minions, whether you love them or you hate them. Here's the Minions doing Cecilia. We'll see you next week.